Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. An exciting event, a new event, is coming to the Dayton area on September 2nd. It's for cyclists, enthusiasts, and your everyday bicycler. Here to tell us more, we have Phil Parks, who is from Dayton Rotary, and also Paul Labby, who is from Tour de Gem, which is the name of this exciting event. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
And I know, Phil, you're also part of this committee, but you're representing the Dayton Rotary as well, right?
Correct, yes.
So Tour de Gem, what's that all about?
Well, Tour de Gem actually started, the Dayton Rotary Club had a ride that was originally for just the club, for the international exchange students. And then a couple of Rotarians were coming back from Tour de Tucson.
Correct.
And just said, you know what? We can do this.
We can do this.
Yes. Tucson and Arizona, about the same size cities. So why not help all the wonderful charities that do so much work in the the Miami Valley area? Why not help them like they are out in Tucson? And you know, how much money are they raising out there every year now that they've been doing this?
Yeah, they've been doing this for over 40 years now, and they're raising millions of dollars. What they've done is selected different charities each year. And the ride kept building over the years because it was multi-mileages and great area to go visit, obviously. So we thought the Dayton area could do the same thing. And so we're going to have this inaugural ride coming up Labor Day.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. First time in this area. It's on September 2nd. And tell us, I am not a cyclist, so I'm not familiar with a lot of these types of events, but you don't have to be. It's great if you are a cyclist, but you really can take any level of bicycle riders. Can I call it a bicycle?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have rides starting at 1 mile, going out.
Check, I can do that. Okay.
Absolutely
Yeah.
can do that. And it's along a bicycle route, so you're not out there with traffic. You're on a paved road going from Riverscape out anywhere from 1 mile to 10 miles. And Huffy is actually the sponsor for that. And it's called a fun ride.
But the most important thing is I can still raise money for charity.
Absolutely.
That is correct. And you do have a bike, correct?
I do have that.
Very good. That's important to have. We need to have people
safety is important when you take part in these.
And mentioning safety, we want to make sure that everybody that's riding a bike is also has a helmet. So that we are making sure that the ride is going to be very safe at all the various intersections that we have for the longer rides. We're going to have a ton of volunteers out there, and we've incorporated all of the police in the various communities that the longer bike rides are going through.
Well, let's talk about that, because as you mentioned, there are several different routes, but to get started, do you form a team? Do you come as an individual? How do you start to become a part of this event?
Well, step one is deciding that you want to raise some money for a local charity. There's 44 different charities to choose from, and when you say team, you could just say to a couple of friends, hey, let's go do this ride. And that's what a lot of riders do. And you can pick between a 32, 50, 64, or 104-mile ride. But the key is saying, hey, let's get out there with a few of our friends. We're going to raise a little bit of money for charity and go to this bike event. And it's going to end up, which I think we'll talk about a little bit later, downtown, where there's going to be a great festival at the conclusion of the ride.
But even mentioning that, you get 4 or 5 guys together, women, whatever, and they decide once they register that they want to support a different charity. So each of them could choose a different charity to sign up and raise that $150 that we're hoping each rider is going to raise from various friends and family. So that's kind of a goal, is a minimum of $150 to raise in donations. That's exactly right, yes.
And then once you're registered, you show up, you sign up for whatever mileage you're going to ride, or what goes after that?
Well, when you register online, and we've got the website there that you can register, you're already registering with a fee to start out to cover the expenses of the ride, but then you also have a fundraising page that is created just for you, so that you can send out emails to family and friends that say, hey, I'm going to be riding 10 miles, I'm going to be riding 25 miles on September the 2nd. Could you support me by sending in $10, $15? And it's amazing how many people will respond when you're out there doing something for that specific charity.
I agree. You'll find it sounds like a lot of money, $150, but when people find out that you're doing something and they see the passion that you have for whatever the charity is, you'll find a lot of people will start writing $25 and $50 and sometimes $100 checks. And it's going for good causes. And I liked what you were thinking. If you had 5 people in 5 different charities, it's still the same group of people coming along. But the key is just saying, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, making the ask isn't so difficult when it's for a good cause.
Absolutely, yes.
And I guess you're only writing the check. Somebody else is doing all the physical part of cycling.
That's correct.
So we talked about various locations in the route. So we have a nice graphic to kind of give you a map, because you really are traveling if you're throughout the Dayton area. So let's kind of, you don't necessarily start in the same spot, so it depends on how far you're riding, right?
Sure.
That is correct. The only one that will actually start and end downtown, other than the fun rides, will be the 104-mile ride. The 32, 50, and 64, we're going to bus people out to a starting point so that they're all ending at about the same time.
Okay, so if you wanted to take part in the fun ride, you would start downtown.
Correct.
Okay.
At Riverscape.
At Riverscape. But you really are just throughout some of the communities that you can ride through.
And it's important, yes, and actually this is about the 6th or 7th revision of the routes that have been done.
So it's still fluid, it's still being
Exactly, but
finalized.
Scott Backer is our ride experience coach and chair, because he wants to make sure that it's a good ride for any type of biker. So he actually has gone out to all these different communities, and right now this year, and over the years this route will change, but this year he created two 50-mile loops. So we're going south on both of those loops. We start out and go down East Dayton, we go through the VA Medical Center. It's a beautiful campus if nobody's been there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then it heads out to Farmersville and Germantown, and then further south into Franklin and Springboro and back. And then once they come back and refresh, and there is rest stops along the way, they'll take another southern route that goes down to Centerville and Bellbrook, and then loops around to Fairborn and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
And it is a ride, not a race.
That is correct.
That is
People
correct.
will want to maybe try and do it in as fastest time as possible, and they're going to be out there leading, obviously, but most of the riders are going to go at their own pace. It's a very comfortable pace.
And so listeners may be saying, hey, well, what happens if I get a flat tire? We're going to have what is called a SAG group that basically just follows along and makes loops.
Okay.
So if you're having trouble with your bicycle and you've had a flat tire and you don't know how to change a flat tire, there'll be people there to help you.
Or you get a blister for whatever reason somewhere, or?
Well, at any one of the 8 rest stops, we're going to have EMT people there. So, you know, there'll be plenty of people there, and of course, if there's an emergency, 911 is always available,
Right.
but we don't expect that to happen. But you'll find that there's going to be food and refreshments at each of the stops. It's about, 15 miles to each stop
Right.
if you're out riding
Exactly.
32 or beyond. So plenty of opportunity to get hydrated, maybe eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you need a Band-Aid, a Band-Aid. If you need a ride back, there'll be a ride back.
So this is a big event.
It's a huge event.
Yeah, this is really big. You've been planning this for almost a year?
Correct. Yes, that is correct. Yes.
That's
By the time the ride starts, it'll be 11
all the
months.
details, it seems like you have everything worked out
We've
because you're
got a-
experienced in this, right?
We've got a large committee,
Yeah.
a very diverse committee too, and we've been meeting now every 2 weeks at the Ronald McDonald House. They've graciously lent us their meeting room. And again, we've gotten the charities involved through the webinars, so a lot of word has gone out through the electronic media. And then we're doing promotions such as this show. Because
But you're experienced riders, you know how to plan the routes, so these have all been tested. So it's, if you were someone who's never really ridden far before or never taken part in an event, what kind of advice would you give a novice?
Well, that's a really good question, Maureen. Because
Get me ready now for something like that?
Well, you certainly want to start training.
Yeah.
You always want to get out on the bike. Actually, it's not so much the pedaling as it's sitting in that seat that sometimes can be more of a
Right.
problem after a while, because you get a little tired. But it's more or less just like any other exercise that you're going to do, whether you're going to go hiking or surfing or whatever, you take it in small steps. And that's the beauty of this ride is, okay, you do 10 miles this year, then you sign up for 25 next year. You gain confidence because you can see, first of all, it's not all that difficult. It's more about pacing. It's preparing.
Okay.
It's making sure that you're staying hydrated. And we've even given helpful hints as far as how you can prepare for the bike ride on the website.
And so the best place really to go for all information would be the website,
Absolutely.
which, yeah, we have the website up on the screen.
And we have videos there on how to do fundraising.
Oh, nice.
So-
It's your one-stop shop then, isn't it? Yeah.
Right, right. And when it comes to training, I had a friend of mine the other day who said, I'm not sure that I can participate in this. So we went out on the bike path, and I said, tell you what, let's just take a nice, easy ride, 7.5 miles out, 7.5 miles back. That was a 15-mile ride. And they looked at me and they said, that's not really bad. And I said, now, you don't have to stop 15 miles out. You can ride 7.5 miles, stop, drink some water, get yourself going again, get out to 15, and then all you have to do is do that one more time. And all of a sudden, that trip got broken down into 4 segments, 4 7.5-mile segments. You can break it down however you want and make it fun.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about, is having some fun.
Having some fun, and then, of course, raising some funds. So,
And getting great exercise. I mean, I remember getting into serious biking when I turned 50, and I thought at the time that a 20-mile distance was just really, really long. But again, you're doing it with a group of people, and you're getting out there, and you're listening to your body, too. And it's like, okay, this is really hot and humid day today. We're only going to do 15 miles. But other days, I ended up doing some century rides. It was just, I still have fun doing that.
well, it sounds like you'll have a support group there to kind of help pace you as well.
That's exactly
And
right.
any kind of bicycle. It doesn't have to be the racing bicycles. This isn't a race. So any kind of bicycle you have in the garage, get involved, get out there and have some fun.
Well, and you were mentioning before about the fun run or fun ride. You can bring your family and just take part in that, and that takes place downtown.
Correct.
So, same way for registration then? Everything goes through the website?
That is correct.
tourtogem.org.
Yes.
Okay.
And all the funds are run through the Dayton Foundation to validate that the 45 plus charities that are signed up meet those requirements for charitable organizations.
And you have a lot of people signed up already,
Yes,
right?
yes, we
A lot
do.
of
We've got-
teams.
And-
There's no cutoff, is
Oh,
there?
not yet.
You know, and behind the scenes, I mean, one of the things the committees do is we make sure these are true 501c3. If you don't have that, you're not getting on that list as a charity. These are true charities that are really making a difference in the Miami Valley.
So you're going to be able to tour throughout the beautiful Dayton area. It's a great time of year to go cycling.
Exactly.
You're raising funds for charity, and then hopefully you're putting this on your calendar for next year because you hope to grow this event, right?
Absolutely. Yes. You know, we anticipate, we set out a goal of trying to get 250 riders for this first year. We really didn't know what would happen here, and we still don't, because a lot of riders do register at the last minute. But we've
And
set
you're
it
able
up.
to do that. It's okay to register
The day of.
day of even, okay?
Yes, exactly. And so we we're hoping for the best as far as weather-wise, and we know from a route and planning standpoint, we're ready for any kind of volume. The more the merrier. These other rides that have been established, like the Tour de Tucson, they've got 8,000, 9,000 riders out there, but that took many, many years to get there. So.
And we want to mention too that we know our most famous Daytonians, the Wright brothers,
Exactly.
rode their bike to Centerville from Dayton on their way to Miamisburg, which is kind of an interesting story. So
It's a great story.
yeah, and
yes.
of course had the bicycle shop. So
And we
our
have-
roots go deep with cycling. Right?
And we have a
Absolutely.
member of the Wright family that is participating in the Tour de Gem. He signed up for it, and we're really excited about that. But yes, there's a lot of history. It goes back to there's a lot of gems in the Dayton area, and we anticipate this becoming a full weekend of fun for the families that are in the area for the holiday.
So if you're not ready for the cycling, you can come back at the end of the event, though, right? And there's the reggae festival downtown.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's
food
at what
trucks
time? Oh, there'll be food trucks too. Great.
Right. I believe they gear up about 2 p.m. Is that correct, Phil?
Right, and again, we're trying to time this so that everybody's finishing about the same time, and then it allows us to be part of another great opportunity for families and friends and everybody to get together and
Just
enjoy
a big party
Dayton.
downtown, right?
Exactly.
Just even riding outside of downtown and on the streets, I know a lot of people get a little bit nervous going from a trail to a street. But again, we're going to have some great police escort and monitoring of the whole
Sounds like
situation.
you have it all taken care of. Thanks so much,
think so.
fellas. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
watching. We'll see you next time.